is a patriarchy which has developed various mechanisms to ameliorate male dominance. Yet, the Anioma society has traditionally set up exclusive female institutions to cater for the interests and welfare of women folk among the Anioma people of Delta State. The concept of Omu seems to have been derived from the idea of Mu or Mua, that is given birth, or Omumu, given birth. It is associated with the palm frond of palm tree called Omu, a very powerful symbol of womanhood. In Igbo cosmology, the palm tree is female, while fronds connote fertility and life, just as yam is a male symbol. In ancient Nri myth, yam is a male symbol, and palm tree is a female symbol. It is therefore consistent with the logic of the culture for a woman institution to be named Omu and given the same role in both areas with or without monarchy. Omuship institution is as old as the Anioma nation, having itself been born in the 15th century. It is one of the institutions that distinguish the Anioma kingdom from other tribes in Delta State. It is an important institution within the governance system of many Anioma communities and, importantly, a traditional position reserved for women in Anioma society. The institution plays many roles in different Anioma communities, ranging from serving as the mother of the community, performing spiritual rites, to presiding over market affairs. This is why Omu is held as spiritual mother of its town and is only questionable to the monarch. Traditionally, Omu enjoys a powerful position as she is always a member of the Obi in council.
The Omu institution in Okpanan community and in the whole of Anioma kingdom remains indigenous. The institution is as old as the communities. The Omu plays very complementary roles in leadership of any given community. She maintains 50% of the population. The traditional ruler equally maintains 50%. In Okpanan community and Anioma as a whole, Omu has a palace from where she now carries out her responsibilities like the traditional ruler. Omu is the head of women folk. That is why she is being known and regarded as the Queen Mother. She is also the custodian of our markets and oversees everything that concerns commercial. She also has Omu in council, that is her cabinet, though inferior to that of the traditional ruler, because the man remains the head. They are charged with the responsibility of sanitizing the community. The Omu would also, because of her vantage position, gives very vital advice to the traditional ruler, administratively or religiously. I am happy to say that in Okpanan today, the Omu we know, Obi Matadunku, brought a lot of glamour and visibility. She is being bestowed with male rights, meaning that she can never serve a man any longer. Whatever the man does, she can equally do. She can marry another woman, they will bear children, and such children will now be answering her name. So I want to say that the position of Omu in Okpanan for today and in the whole of Anioma kingdom impacts positively and ventilates on not only the people of that particular community, but also their culture.
Institutions have traced the emergence of the Omu institution in Anioma to Queen Idia, the mother of Esige, the Oba of Benin that reigned from 1504 to 1550. Queen Idia was a warrior who helped her son Esige to defeat Igala during the Benin-Igala War. The Anioma is thought to have borrowed this Omu idea from Queen Idia. The eligibility of Omu varies from community to community, but it is mainly based on tradition, divination, and rotation. An Omu is often determined through native doctors who are usually consulted in distant communities to determine who should rightly fill in the vacant position. Once a particular candidate is favored, then she passes through the rites of coronation that makes her the Omu of the town. Anioma community is deeply ingrained and respected in Opanam, in Oshimile North local government area of Delta State. Opanam has a knack of preserving its tradition under the leadership of Omu. The Omus find solution to all unnatural or spiritual and metaphysical problems of the Obi, and hence the town and the kingdom. She imposes fines on any woman who breaks the husband-mourning rules, as well as defends and protects the widows from excesses of widow inheritance customs and practice. Unlike what obtains in Asaba and Ibozo, Ogwashiku has a different setup for the institution of Omoshi. In Ogwashiku, only a mature daughter of two lineages in the village may be selected through oracular consultation, and when she dies, the elders at Agudese enacted an order guaranteeing that an Omu may only be selected from among the daughters of the two lineages in the Agudese village that produce the Iyase of Ogwashiku, to whom her loyalty and service must go. She consults the oracles and protects the Obi and the state from mystical harm. However, the women who enjoy this exalted position must be recognized as patriotic with a zeal to lead and ultimately better the lives of the community. One of the ways to achieve this was through coalescing this institution and its roles in the entire region. Thus, the nomination of the highly educated Dr. Martha Dunku, proud to her coronation as the new Omu of Anioma on the 15th of January 2010. Obi Martha Dunku has been the Omu of Opanam since the 26th January 2012. Omu Martha Dunku was born into the family of Oshuma, from which generation Omu emerged in Opanam in Oshima North local government area of Delta State. Omu Martha Dunku attended St. Joseph Catholic School, Barking Ladi, Plateau State, and St. Muru Bas College, Opanam, Delta State. She worked for a couple of years in Ministry of Finance, Benin City, Edo State, before proceeding to LTC College of English and Secretarial Studies in England. She also attended Southwest London College, England, Henderson State University, Arkansas, and University of Nevada, United States of America. Omu Martha Dunku was colonized Omu of Opanam on 26 January 2012 and Omu of Anioma on 15 January 2010. On 7 October 1998, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Eredua Faro, Oba of Benin, presented Obi Martha Dunku royal beads, Ivie Uye beaded necklace. She is a member of different associations and she has so many awards to her credit. Obi Martha Dunku is the public relations consultant to His Royal Majesty the Oba of Benin. Her friends and colleagues in the media admirably call her royal image maker. Obi Mata Bunku is a die-hard Nigerian, an ardent believer in Nigeria's leadership of the black race. She is loving, devoted, caring, disciplined, and a God-fearing mother to her son. Omuship is a cult-like organization of mature women headed by the Omu title holder that serves as a mechanism for participation in governance of women in the communities. In some societies, the Omu has the supreme authority in customs concerning women's affairs, while the Otu Omu is a group of women approximately the same age with the males.
The Omu, first of all, is indigenous to Anioma people. The institution of the Omu is indigenous to Anioma people of Delta State. There is nowhere in Nigeria you have it. There is nowhere in Africa that you have it. Our forefathers, 700 years ago, decided that God made man and woman. And if man was complete on his own, God will not make woman. For that reason, they thought they should harness the potentials of woman and felt that the only person who can know the problems of a woman is a woman. In addition, they decided that the whole community should have a mother. So if there is anything that is troubling the community and the traditional ruler cannot handle it, because men have their ways of handling issues. You know, the man is the fire that is burning, and the woman is the water that quenches the fire. Yes. So when it becomes so hot, the traditional ruler will beckon on the Omu as a mother to come and help. So in effect, the Omu is the mother of the community. She is the spiritual guide to the traditional ruler. She is the spiritual guide to the community. She is the only female member of the traditional council. She is the traditional custodian of the markets. That's basically what the work of the Omu is. And from community to community, it differs how they crown their Omu, but their duties are basically the same. And the Omu is crowned with or without the monarchy, because she has a role to play. In some areas, it's hereditary to certain quarters. In some communities, it's rotational from one village to the other. And when a woman is pronounced as an Omu, you have to leave your marital home and come to your father's home to reign. There they build you a palace. And at the point of coronation, the Omu is bestowed male rights to marry and have children who will bear her name. She's not permitted to live with a man. She cannot be a Mrs. Anybody. She's not a variable of 3 meals a day. And I used to think that maybe they were a little bit unfair to the woman. How can the man marry? But having gone around the whole of Anioma asking questions to our fathers who are elderly, I found that our forefathers thought that this woman is not just the leader of women. She is the mother of the whole community. And they didn't want a situation where a man will be slapping the Omu and quarreling with her and telling her you're not cooking well. Again, they felt that since 80% of her work is spiritual, unless she's in a state of near chastity, she cannot receive messages from God that she will pass to the communities. That's why Reverend Fathers and Sisters don't marry.
The Omu and Otu Omu in each society has a specific responsibility to enact the rules and regulations of doing business in the market, to ensure peace and order in the marketplace, maintain the physical sanitation of the market, and spiritual well-being of Asaba town under the overall superintendence of the Asagba and Otu Raza. They protect the town against evil on all manner of abominations that defy the relationships with ancestors. At the same time, as the Omu of Okana, she sees herself as the mother of the community, a leader of the women. She sees that position as a calling, according to her.
10 years ago, I asked the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Benin, Professor E.A.C. Nwanze, I thought we should research into the institution and keep something for our children. And so he constituted a committee, and the committee came up with a pamphlet and they researched with a paper done by Professor Onwejogu, who was the founder of the Sociology and Anthropology Department of the University of Benin. He found out that our forefathers decided that it is wrong to have half of the population as women and not care for them. They also decided that woman has potential, and you cannot harness that potential if you don't bring her into the system. How they came about that, I wouldn't know. Imagine 700 years ago, that old men came together and said we have to keep a throne for a woman, and put a code of dress, and put the way you should behave, and make sure that this woman functions properly. I cannot tell you I know what happened 700 years ago, but research showed, empirical research, that it started 700 years ago. It's not there in the Igbo across the Niger. So your question before, why is it that Igbos have it? It is only Anioma people that have it. It's not existing in the 5 eastern states. It's not existing in River State where you have Igbos. How they came about it, I would say it is providential.
She inherited and focused the group to bring positiveness to the life of women and men alike.
God called Saul and turned him to Paul. Saul didn't say no. If God has an assignment for you, you had an assignment before and he has a new assignment, you cannot say no to God. So in order to do what God wants me to do for my people, Asomu to be a bringer of light, to light the light so that everybody will use it to see. And you know that when light comes, darkness disappears, and the forces of light will in perpetuity defeat the forces of darkness.
She is in charge of the women. So the women are people in the markets. If you go to most markets, the people you find in the markets are the women. So since she is in charge of the women, so she is available at the market. Even if she is not there, she has people that are mouthpiece, people that work with her, that take care of the market and make sure that everything is in peace and in order.
Since when we can't gather us from one place, and we work you build the market for us. We can't stay for one place. Since then, we are doing fine.
The time when we there for this market before, this market no good like this. And before when we dey stay for here, we dey stay for outside. If you rain dey fall, go dey beat us. If the sun dey shine, go dey beat us. Like these people wey carry ice fish now. If you send at that time, this ice fish when they carry they sell, some go beat and the eyes made inside, all of them go melt. Before 4 o'clock, you no go good again. But since when this year Omo take over for this market, we dey enjoy, we dey happy because of this house where they build.
The Obi of Obuluno, His Royal Majesty Obi Kikachukwu JP, who coronated Obi Martha Dungu, also threw more light on the Muship in Anioma land.
And who is the head of the women? And in Delta North, for instance, you have about 60 traditionally recognized institutions. There's none of these communities that could function without the assistance of the Omu. The Omus are the head of the women, just as you have the Obi as the administrative head of the men, women inclusive. But with the assistance of the Omu, the Obis functions effectively.
The son of Obi Martha Dungu also comments on his mother as the Omu of Anioma.
She's happier coming home, seeing her folks, seeing the people around, going in tune with nature, with her tradition. Even the few times I've come here for the festival, I've seen that she's bubbling, and I'm very happy to be her child. Even though sometimes she's very strict, dogged, but at the ending, the end justifies the means. The end is to get it right, and she never fails.
Other sons of Anioma also throw light on the Omu institution.
It's a custom in Anioma land. Although you know we are children, but we grew up to meet our Omu. Precisely my place, we have Omu, and they are custodian of the women, the market, and some other things she has earlier explained to you people.
There is no doubt that she is presenting an exciting field for sociological study of modernity and transition in Upper Nile in the